Hi, good morning. This is Tracy from 707 Treasures, and I'm going to go ahead and bring you my second What Sold video of everything that's sold from the week of January 6th through January 13th. And pretty interesting week. Poshmark actually outsold eBay 20 items to 18. However, my average sales price on Poshmark is a lot lower. So let's go ahead and get in and take a look and see what sold. So we'll go ahead and get started with Depop. I really want to sell on Depop, but if you guys have any tips on how to increase the Depop sales, please go ahead and drop them in the comments. The first sale on Depop was a pair of figs, burgundy and purple scrub tops. I picked these up at a thrift store. I paid $9.60 for them and sold them in 7 days for $27. Second sale on Depop was a pair of black milk women's pink leggings. I used keywords like rainbow star, sparkle, pride. I picked up, I don't know, a lot of these at the thrift store for about $8 each, thinking that they were worth a lot more. I started them at $60. I've dropped them down, dropped them down. I have a few pairs left, but these took 325 days of sale and they are gone for $24. So my total on Depop was $41 gross, $16 profit after my cost of goods. All right, let's go ahead and get started with eBay. I sold 18 items on eBay for $689, and my total net profit was $427. These first three items were sold to a bundle. I actually had just listed those about 30 days, and somebody sent me an offer. They were on sale, wanted all three of them for $15 each with combined shipping, and I was happy to go ahead and move those along. So they're just three Donald Ross shirts. All of them did say the Virginian on them. And I picked those up for $4.99 at our local thrift store. Next, I have a Garnier Fructose hair shampoo. This one I had for 369 days and I bought it for $3.29. So you can see I didn't make much profit on this, but something I won't buy again, and it is gone. This is something I picked up at an estate sale. Corningware is something people are always looking out for. I only paid $1 for this and it took 68 days to sell. It was brand new. The bottle itself was a little rough, but included all in the pictures and sold it on a nifty offer for $11.21. This is another estate sale purchase, the Maybelline Moisture Lipstick. I had it for listed for 83 days and I paid less than $1 for it at an estate sale. Beauty is my favorite category. Estate sales are my favorite place to purchase them. And some of them are just average, but there are some that have really good profit in them. Next up, we have this Jenny Johnson square scarf. I use terms like nautical, 1987, which is the year on the tag. Definitely vintage. Had kind of a linen feel to it, even though it was cotton. This is something I would not pick up again, even though I paid only $1.50 for it. It did sit in my inventory for 524 days. There was a time where I was picking up a lot of scarves and moving them pretty quick, but it seems like now most of them are just sitting around. Next up is this Baker's Best skin cream. Horrible picture. I need to do a little more front on picture for it. But I did pick this up for only $2.20 and it took 92 days to sell. And I purchased that at a local thrift store. This is an item that I use a lot of keywords for, like lace, sheer, white, denim jacket, included women's in there. It is a brand that doesn't have the best sell-through rate, but it was something that came out of a closet at home, and we no longer wanted it, so I just went ahead and got that listed, and that sold in 42 days. Here's another eye makeup that I picked up at an estate sale. This one took 68 days to sell. I paid $2 for it, and there was actually quite a few listed, so I'm surprised that it actually sold so quick, but it sold on my 10% sale offer. And if you haven't noticed, all of my buyers do pay shipping. I do calculated shipping, and I pass 25% of the discount over to the buyers. This is a Hallmark ornament that I picked up at our local thrift store. I paid $3.99 for it, and it was only listed for 10 days. And it sold a week after 2 weeks after Christmas. So you never know when holiday is going to sell. If you have them just sitting around, get them listed. People are always looking for holiday decorations. This one was untested. I did have it in my description that was untested. I originally had it for about $35, and a buyer sent me an offer for 25 because it was untested, and I was happy to take that and move it along. This is another thrift store purchase. This store that I shop at gets a lot of like Costco returns and things like that, which I think that's where this came from. This Paul Mitchell item I paid up a little bit for. I paid $7.99, but it did sell within only 10 days, and buyer paid shipping of $7.31. I think this is my best sale of the week. This is something from an estate sale. If you're not picking up beauty products when you go to an estate sale, or at least scanning those QR codes, you're definitely missing out on some money. This is a Bain de Soleil self tanner SPF 4. I don't know why anyone would ever want to put this on their skin. Hopefully, it is just used as a prop. It's from 1993, but I did pay only $6 for this, and it sold within 67 days. I actually purchased two different ones, and both of them have sold within less than 60 days, and pretty nice profit. I picked these books up at an estate sale. Just thought they were kind of funny, and paid only $1 for it. How to Make It in the Sack, a cookbook for women who haven't made it. And then there was another book next to it, The Psychology of Winning Men. Somebody's going to want this for collection. It actually had lots of marks on it, so I just went ahead and included that in the listing, and I paid a whole $1.35 for that. I picked this up last summer at a yard sale. It was in somebody's backyard with just stuff just piled up everywhere on tables. And I picked up, I think, six of these. These are the first two that have sold for $23.05. And I have a $2 cost of goods, and they sold within 128 days. This is the second time that these shorts have sold. They look just kind of like average shorts, but this Hawaiian Island Creations has a fairly decent sell-through rate. The first time I sold these, I had them listed as like a size medium by mistake because I used a sell similar, but they're a size 42, so they're definitely larger. So the first time they actually came back to me, I raised the price by a couple dollars to pay for the return shipping from the previous buyer. And then these did go ahead and sell in 84 days for a nifty offer of $4.34. And my cost of goods originally was probably about $6 on these. And the last item is the Melaleuca EcoSense. If you're not familiar with Melaleuca, it's a multi-level marketing company. I found this at our local thrift store. I used to use these products many years ago. Great products, but there's a lot of other options out there now. So I did go ahead and pick this up for $2.99, and had it on my 20% off sale. It did take a little bit longer, 144 days to sell. So overall with eBay, I sold 18 items for $689, $51 cost of goods, and after shipping and fees, $427 of profit. I had two Etsy sales. Both of them are Hawaiian shirts, which is one of my favorite categories to sell. This is a Hilo Haiti. I used words like 90s, pop over, which I had to kind of learn what it was, but it has two buttons here and the style is called pop over. So I made sure I used that in my listing. And I paid $2 for this at a yard sale, and it took 126 days to sell. The last item was a Tory Richard shirt. I used to pick up Tory Richard a lot. I pass on them most of the time now, unless they are silk and have decent patterns. This was a beautiful shirt. I wish the quality of it and the beauty of it could come through more better in the pictures. But I did have this shirt for 684 days. So a long time. I'm glad to see it gone. I probably would have taken just about any offer for it. I paid $5.46, and that is way too long to have an item. So I am glad to see that one gone. My total Etsy sales were $73, and after cost of goods and fees, my net profit was $39. I had one baby sale on Mercari, and this is a Clinique cosmetic bag. There's actually two bags in it, and included them in the pictures. I don't do a lot of measurements, but I do always include measurements for cosmetic bags because it is very hard to see the size of them. I picked this up in an estate sale for $2 and sold for $10 and 20 cents. Unfortunately, I did have free shipping on there. I was doing kind of a trial with Mercari, adding free shipping, see if that helps move some sales. So my profit on Mercari was a whole whopping $3 after this item and the free shipping. So I got my money back and made a couple dollars, but I have since changed all my Mercari back to buyer pay shipping. I'd rather have less sales and make a little more profit, especially with the way Mercari is working right now. Next on to Poshmark. I have the sack bag that I bought at an estate sale for $2. I used some really good words like boho, snakeskin. This is a pretty interesting bag. It was in great condition. I was actually surprised the person sold it to me for only $2. And don't think it was new, but it was fairly new. I do include measurements for all of my bags. And I picked this up for $2 and sold it for $20 on Poshmark within 80 days. This is a little book from the Little Leather Green Library. I bought a whole bunch of them, probably like 50 to 70 of them, last year, 339 days ago to be exact. And I lotted some of them up. I sold most of them one by one. I think I have just a couple left, but basically my net cost of goods was about $1 for this, and glad to see it gone. This Ralph Lauren men's shirt I picked up because it was a size 18. I actually did pay up a little bit for it. I paid $6.99 at my local thrift store. Has the blue pony on it. I am getting a little more selective with the Ralph Lauren. I really don't want to pay $6.99 for them anymore. So I am watching for them at the local thrift store on the 50% off days and more willing to pick them up. But not much profit on here for $6.99 cost of goods, but it did sell pretty quickly at 23 days. Again, if you saw my last video, I sold another one of these Maybelline eye refills. And these I got at an estate sale. I paid only about $1 for this, and it sold within about 60 days. This Chico's top, I bought at a yard sale over the summer. There was a person that was selling all her mom's clothing. Her mom had gone into a nursing home and had been a serial shopper. So most of the stuff there had tags on it, and I picked this up for only $2, and it sold within 64 days. This Bugatachi Umo shirt, I used some keywords like blue, floral, orange, stripe. This is a beautiful shirt. It's a beautiful brand. However, it doesn't have the best sell-through rate. So usually when I do find these, they end up in my husband's closet. But this one just didn't fit him. It was a little bit too large. And so we did go ahead and just sell this. I paid $3 for it, and it sold in 75 days. Tumi is one of my favorite brands. What Tumi looks like. They make handbags, purses. I have found wallets. These were just some little airline kits that my daughter actually found at the thrift store for $2 each. It's their first class kit. It's got all kinds of little goodies in it, pair of socks, eye masks, toothpaste. She actually picked up about 6 of these, and we've been selling them little by little. This one sold within 16 days on Poshmark. Athleta, I'm a little picky with. I kind of regret picking this one up. I don't think I would pick them up again. I got it at a local thrift store for $3.50. So cost of goods was lower. It was on their 50% off color tag. I did use Google Lens to determine the style, and it's the Highland Hybrid Ankle Tight. I use keywords like green, black, gym, travel, and it did sell fairly quickly at 7 days. This is a children's shirt that I got at the bins. Our bins is $3.49 per pound. Anything that weighs over 1.4 pounds, they pull out and then charge separate, and nothing is over $5. I did pick this one up, and it sold within 14 days. I was really excited when I found this jacket at, I believe it was our local Goodwill. It's a Haunted Mansion jacket. I probably should have used the word shacket in it, so shirt, jacket. However, that is a fairly new word to me, and I never went in and updated this listing. I did pay $10 for this, so I did pay up, but it's got this awesome logo on the back, the Haunted Mansion, one of my favorite rides at Disneyland. And I use Madame Leota in it just as some keywords. And it did take 267 days to sell, so it did take a little bit longer to sell. All right, and then I found Obama at a yard sale. Paid $2 for this. Just thought it was something kind of cool, fun. Obama, Spider-Man, and some trading cards. Never seen anything like this before. So I did go ahead and just pick those up. It's just something fun. Sometimes it's nice to have a little fun in your store, even if you don't make a lot of money. And those did take 90 days to sell. And then I have some more figs. I found these at the same thrift store. I paid $9.98 total for the 2 pairs of pants. And then I just decided to lot them up, figured they would sell a little quicker that way. And they did. They only took 8 days to sell for $24. This is a cool little bag I found at our local thrift store. I did pay up for this bag. Originally, comps were looking a little better, but I did take an offer of $55, and my total profit on this bag was only $13. But I did save it from the thrift store and got it into somebody's hands who are going to love it. Just another Tumi bag. This one was from Delta Airlines, and this one also sold within 17 days. This was my best sale from Poshmark. These are a pair of Mother's jeans. I've never heard of Mother's jeans until just recently. And then I went on a Marin County thrift haul and take a look at my previous YouTube video. And I did find these. I actually found quite a few of them. Most stores had them marked up $30, $40, $50 or more. But I did get, I believe, 3 pairs. These I paid $15 for, and they sold the day after I listed them. Mother's jeans have the logo and the style on here. They also have says mother on a lot of them. This one was faded out. And then they do have a little tag on here that does say mother. So if you do see them, a lot of them look just pretty average, but take a look at the pricing. And if you get them at the right price, They do sell. They have a really great sell-through rate. These did have a little flare style to them, so I think that did help them sell a little quicker. All right, Mr. Ferragamo. I don't know why I continue to pick these up. Ferragamo shoes are super narrow. Women's feet definitely were narrower and a lot smaller. I think I did pick these up because they were a size 10. I got them for $5.99. And thankfully, they only took 50 days to sell. My last Ferragamos took like 2 years. And I said I would never pick up another pair, but these were in great condition. The leather was nice on them. They sold in 50 days. So they are gone. And please help me. Don't pick up any more Ferragamos. I feel like I had this tie forever. It was 402 days to sell. Picked it up probably during football season. I did pay only $1.25 for it, but I try not to pick up too many ties because they are slow sellers for most of them. Even some of the designer ties don't have a great sell-through rate. But this one was pretty cool. Cool Ralph Marlin. He's got cool graphics on his ties and something I would not pick up again. All right, this little scarf, I had looked up the comps for it. I did find it at a estate sale for only $2, and I knew it would be a slow seller, but I did use the word like buffalo. That's this pattern, this red and black is called buffalo. So if you have something that is that pattern, just get it in your title. And it's a square scarf, nothing super exciting. I believe it's from like Brazil. But I did only pay $2 for it. It did take 357 days to sell and did sell for $24. I got two of these from the last estate sale and I paid $3 for each of them. I still have one more in my inventory, but I was very happy with the returns on this for $36. There's no barcode on this, so I did have to go ahead and just look it up manually, but it did have a decent sell-through rate. It came with the pump, which is a plus, and it was also sealed, and that only took 66 days to sell. So, in summary, for the week of January 7th through 13th, I sold a total of 43 items with $691 net profit. The average day to sell is 123 days. That's one thing I'm really focusing on is getting my average day to sell down closer to 90. As you can see, I did have some items that took a long time to sell, but that's just a mental note that those were bad buys. They're gone, and I shouldn't pick those up again. Please give me a follow and subscribe. If you're not, I'm going to be doing another video soon for the third week of January and see what I sold. Have a great day.